Hey guys, welcome back to a players rating for the Arsenal's recent game against West Ham, where we luckily just about won 2-1, and that was all that was needed. Okay, so let's just get straight into the players rating. As you know, 10 goals for the best, 0 is obviously the worst. So yeah, let's start off with, obviously as you can see, I'm using a different website. So I feel like this website has the way they set out the players just looks a bit more better than FootMob. But yeah, so let's just get straight into it. Okay, so Ramsdale, yeah. I'm trying to think about Ramsdale didn't actually have much to do in the game. He did do one good save. I think it was at the first half, right before the goal. I think he did really well to save that. But other than that, I think the goal itself, I think the deflection from Gabriel, man, he really couldn't save it. But for me, he didn't do much. He didn't do anything wrong today. I think he saved what he could have saved, honestly. He could have fell to a 0 if he ended up getting sent off with the Bowen thing, but luckily he didn't. But for me, I'm going to give Ramsdale a 7. I'm going to give Ramsdale a 7. Let's move into the right back, Tomiyasu, okay? Like I mentioned in my last video, the difference between Tomiyasu and Cedric is night and day. This guy is so strong. I don't think people understand how strong and big Tomiyasu is. Like when you see, he didn't even give Ben Rama a sniff. This guy was just so on point today. And it just shows you how good Tomiyasu is. What a signing this guy's been. For me, Tomiyasu gets an 8 because every time Ben Rama was on the ball, I was so confident Tomiyasu wasn't going to let him pass. For me, a straight 8. Rob Holding, okay? Comes into the team to replace Ben White, who's had a hamstring injury, and drops a masterclass. Rob Holding, I was wrong about Rob Holding previously. I actually thought he was never good enough, even as a backup, but recently this guy has been just proving me wrong. For me, Rob Holding, especially with the goal, I would give him an 8 as well. Moving on to Gabriel, he also scored. Both our centre backs scored, but for me, Gabriel, I would actually give him a 7. I feel the first goal from Bowen, I actually think he played a part in that goal. Like, he really should have ran to Bowen much quicker just to put pressure on him a bit more. But yeah, at least we still won the game. But Gabriel has been a bit shaky in the recent games. But for me, I would give him a 7 just because of that Bowen goal. I really feel he could have done better. Tavares, okay? We all know about Tavares, but he gives every Arsenal fan a freaking heart attack, okay? The way the guy plays. But yesterday, at the start, he was very shaky, like really shaky, like wrong decisions, running into the midfield and being 3 to 4 man and just wasting it by losing possession. But in the second half, you know, when he had to go discipline, he really did do well, and he basically helped defend properly and he shut down the game. So for me, you know, I'm gonna actually give Tavares a 6. El Neni, what a player this guy has suddenly become. The Egyptian Pirlo, they call him. He has come in and stepped in right when we actually needed a player, especially with Thomas Partey injured. Mohamed El Neni has come and changed everything. A lot of people are considering giving him a new contract because he's living on a free. I actually don't know yet. If I was a manager, I would wait until see how he plays to the end of the season and then decide if he should get a new contract. But what a performance by Oneni. Like, I remember one pass he did to Eddie Nketiah in like the last 10 minutes of the game, absolutely ripped West Ham's defense with that one long ball, and then Nketiah really should have went and scored. So I'm going to give Mohamed Oneni an 8. Granit Xhaka, today I was actually really focusing on Granit Xhaka, and he played really good today. I think every time he had the ball, he made a good decision. Sometimes he was a bit sloppy, but overall he did the job. He took out Declan Rice. He was finding the passes, the long balls, everything. So I'm going to give him an 8. Bukayo Saka was quite quiet today, you know. He didn't really do much. Even our whole 3 attacking players, Saka, Odegaard, Martinez, they were really quiet today. They didn't do much. So for me, Saka, I would actually give him a 6 for this game. I just feel he really didn't have an impact. Yeah, there were some runs, but I just feel that final ball was just lacking. Martin Odegaard, and not again another player. I'm not gonna blame him, but he wasn't that good today. Like, as in, you really didn't see him with the ball. Yeah, there were some moments, but honestly, I think Martin Odegaard not the best of games, so I'm gonna give him a 6 as well. Martinelli, on the other hand, for me, I know this will sound controversial, I'm going to give him a 5. I think this was one of Martinelli's worst game in a long time. I think every time he got the ball, he just couldn't control it. Like, the ball was bouncing from his foot to his knee, just losing the ball in very dangerous situations. I just think he didn't even get himself into the game today, and that's unusual for Martinelli, but I'm going to give him a 5. Eddie Nketiah, what a second half performance. The guy was chasing down every single loose ball there was. He was crazy. He was a literally a bug on Zuma. Zuma probably wanted to punch Nketiah out that way, because Nketiah was everywhere, and it just shows how important it is that Arsenal sign a top striker. Because if Eddie Nketiah is creating that much damage, imagine how much damage a top striker would create for Arsenal. And it just shows how bad Lacazette has been, because a player that just shows a bit of effort in Eddie Nketiah looks way more dangerous than Lacazette, who just seems he's lost that pace, and it just seems to affect Arsenal. But yeah, Mikel Arteta, I'm gonna give him a. He got the win, but I just feel maybe he could have made a few changes earlier. The other changes were, from top of my head, Smith Rowe and Cedric. They really couldn't do much when they came on, so I really couldn't rate them. But yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments who was your man of the match. I forgot who I want to give man of the match between Tomiyasu or Rob Holding or Mohamed Elneny. It's too hard to decide. I'm just going to give it to all three of them. There's no rules. But yeah, man, let me know in the comments who was your man of the match. Who you thought stood out. Who would you bring in any other players to replace any of them? Let me know in the comments. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys next time.